very quick on how to do the memo for the Prac cycle. If you take a look at this, I've already got the preload open. Actually, okay, I don't. But I've got the memo folder here, so you would open up your project. Now, the difference in your exam than the cycle test, the only difference is that I will not provide for you this GUI. So I'm going to delete this GUI objects, and we're going to create it from scratch. But I'm going to keep the package, but you guys would have to create the package won't be there, you would create that. Yeah, so first things first, I'm getting asked to create an entity class, and the entity class I'm getting asked to create is the video class. So if I go back to my package, right click new Java class, so new Java class, I'm going to then call it video. Now on the video class, okay, so I'm going to create a new video class. I click finish. On there, once you've created that class, you're going to have to create the fields. Now the fields that are needed to be created are title, project, compression type. Okay, so private, and you'll see because it's got a negative sign in front of it, it means that it is private. And this is data type string, and int. There's no space in between there. You can't name things with a space. Okay, so private string, and the string variables are title, project, and title and project. Okay, so title, comma, project, and then private int, and that's compression type. Okay, so those are my fields created. The next thing it asks us is to create our default constructor, so alt insert constructor generator. And remember, you need to make sure that all of your fields are initialized to blank values. And make use of your control spacebar to make sure you don't make any mistakes as far as for cases are concerned. Okay, so the next will actually equal 0 because it's an integer. The next item we're going to do is we're going to create a fully parameterized constructor. And then we take a look at the question. Okay, so that's fully parameterized. We need getters and setters for all our fields. Again, very easy. Alt insert getters and setters, and you take all your fields done. So it's really marks for nothing. And so is this toString. So all of this, 12 marks, is only thing you got to think about is creating this correctly. Once you create this correctly, all of this is easy. Alt insert and you just get it done. So alt insert toString generate. Done. So that's 12 marks right there, and I did that very quickly. It's not difficult at all. The only thing you got to think about is this, as I said. The rest initialized to blank, etc. Now the toString needs to be changed a little bit. It needs to go title space dash space project new line compression type. Okay, let me just quickly reset this guy's password, and then I'll get back to it now. Yeah, that didn't really help. Anyway, so title dash project new line compression type. Okay, so first thing we want is a title. So just delete this. I want the title. I then want to put a dash, and I then want a project plus project. I then want a new line, which is a \n character. I then want the compression type. Okay, so plus compression type. Now, next question. If I read on question 3, it says create a method called getCompType. Now remember, you're looking for a few things. You're looking for what it returns, so we're looking for this, and you're looking for what it will receive. Okay, it doesn't receive anything, so all we need to know is it's called that. It's going to return text, so it's going to return a string. So method header, we know it's going to be public string get comp type. And it is going to, I'm going to create a blank string, and I'm going to return that blank string. Now, after I've done that, I'm going to be, now I need to find out the compression. If you guys take a look up at the scenario, it tells you here. So sometimes it's very important to keep track of the scenario as well. If you take a look here, 0 is AVI, so I can just go if compression type is equal to 0, then I'm just going to return .avi. 1 is MP4, else if compression type is equal to 1, return .mp4, else if compression, because remember, if that's not true, check the next one. 2, and I think it's 3, 2, 3. I'm being very silly here. If you can make use of your control spacebar, it does help you, it makes life a bit quicker. I only did it for the last one, not very fun, not very clever. Okay, control C, control E, control V, and we want to return here inf.vid, and the last one is .divx. Okay, now you would normally also return a default value, and the default value could be whatever. I'm just going to make it .invalid over here, but you would always need to return a default value. I can now actually get rid of this temporary string because it's not needed, because no matter what, this will always return something, even if it is just .invalid. Yes, I'm leaving that, that's that question done. It then asks me to call this method in the toString, which means that instead of displaying compression type here, you run the get comp type, and then it will return that. Okay, just give me a second, I've got to go answer this. Okay, where were we? Okay, so now the next thing is we're going to create the manager class, create a class called video manager. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click on here, new Java class, and we're going to call it video manager. Now once we've created that, okay, now after we've created that, you'll see it asks me to create an array. It says they create an array of the video class of size 500. So what we do then is we go in here, we go video, so we give it the data type is a video, we use square brackets because it's an array, and we are going to call this videos, as equal to new video array, and the size it asks us to create it is size 500. It then asks us, we will need to create a counter to keep track of the number of videos. So you can call it counter or you can call it number of videos. I'm happy also for you to initialize it to 0 here. So that's technically against convention. In our constructor, we would actually then make sure in our constructor we initialized our number variables videos to be 0. But that's actually asked a bit later anyway. Anyway, it now says creates a method called add video, which will receive the title, project, and compression type, and create a new instance of the variable and increment counter. Okay, so if we take a look here, we're going to create public void add video, and it's going to have a string title of the video. It's going to need a string the project in which the video is from, and an integer of compression type. And then we are going to add a new instance. Remember, your number of videos keeps track of which video you're currently on. So we're going to say number of videos is equal to new video, and we're going to use a fully parameterized constructor because we have all 3 values. We are then going to increment our number of videos so that the next time it will actually point to the next position in the array. Okay, so that's that question done. This question asks us to, in the constructor, the default constructor, that will add the following 2 videos. What's important is a new default constructor, you need to make sure your initializer start off at position 0. Newer versions of Java might be able to handle it, but logically it is incorrect, and certain other programming languages, etc., wouldn't follow that. So I will deduct a mark from you if you don't initialize number of videos to 0. Okay, so we're going to create a new video. So we go videos, position, we just run the add videos function, and we send you what we want. The first one is green 1 mayhem. So green 1 project mayhem. And the number of videos there is 1, I think. That's 2, okay. And then we do create the next one, same thing. The barring on the next one, okay, just going to pause again, give me a second. Yeah, so now we need to create the next one, which is panorama, which I have no idea, and I'm running out of time, panorama, and that is project mayhem as well, and there's 1 video on that. Okay, 1 type compression, sorry, my bad. Now, okay, so we've done that question here. Now it says create a toString with it separated by a new line. So I'll insert generate the toString so we get our method header correct. We get rid of this because this is useless to us. And then all we're going to do instead is we are going to create a blank string, and we are then going to loop through our array. And remember, when we loop through our array, we stop at number of videos, so we'll loop through every single video, so go from 0, 1, 2, 3, whatever, up to the number of videos. We are then going to go say S plus equals, so append to the string, videos position I dot toString, and then we are going to put on the end an enter, so that each video will be on a new line. We then will return S. That's as easy as it is. You create a blank string, you loop through the array up to number of videos, you add the toString to it with an enter. That's that done. So this question done. Now all we need to do is create the GUI, and as I showed you, I've now deleted the GUI, and you guys are going to have to make it so that it works. So right click, new, JFrame form. If you right click on your package, you don't have to worry about managing the package, etc. It's easy as that. I'm going to call it GUI, finish. Now that I've got the GUI, all I'm going to do is I'm going to add a text area. So I click here on text area, I add the text area. I normally would leave some space at the bottom to add certain things like buttons for when it becomes more advanced, but technically for this exam you don't need to worry about that because there's nothing more that you're doing other than just displaying. Don't forget to rename your field, your item. It's important that, because if you don't, it's more difficult to refer to, and later on it will be worth marks if you do not name things. Okay, now on our source, we now want to create an instance of our working class, so we're going to create an instance of our video manager. I'm just going to call it vidman. So video manager is equal to vidman. We declared an instance. In my constructor, I will initialize my instance. So I go vidman is equal to new video manager. So we initialize it. So you declare a field and then you initialize it. Because if you take a look at your public static void main, which will run, it creates a new instance of itself, and that will create that, declare that, and initialize that. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to have to create a method. I always suggest separating this. Display all, and in this display all method, all we are going to do is we're going to say txt display dot set text to be, not tab size, that's not correct, set text to be vidman dot toString. Done. That's how easy this is. And now when I press play, you'll see that it'll ask me for the main class, which will be the GUI class, and when it pops up, it will then should display the two videos that we've got. But it displayed nothing. And you know why it displayed nothing? Because where have I called my display all? I've called it nowhere. So I should call my display all from inside my constructor, otherwise this method is never ever called, which is kind of useless. So now when I run that, you'll see there's my two videos. What I could also do is I could do something like this. For example, in my design I could have made a button, because if you like buttons, talk about a button, I'm going to put a button here, and then I could do it so when I click that button I can run the display all method. No, not dispose. Okay, so now you'll see that if I run it, it will display all of it, and if I delete it or did some other work and I click on the button again, it will display it again. Oop, fail. Yeah, so as easy as that. That's the end of this memo. Good luck and goodbye.